what is that and why are we starting it. And there's a problem in our community, in the urban community in Allentown, where there's a lot of talent in basketball, because this is a basketball camp. There's a lot of talent in this, in these neighborhoods, and these talent is not going anywhere. It's not being excelled. It's not, progressing, and it's not being exposed anywhere. And plus, it's not being directed in the right way. So we came up with a plan to help these kids and these kids in our community to choose the right schools and the right colleges and play and be in the right areas and places to excel in life.
And also to help them prepare to perform academically.
Yes. Okay. We want to, our first goal is, our first thing is we want to help the kids in the middle school, because that's where most of the talent and stuff starts, in a lower level, and from a child. From, growing up, if I was to go to high school, you start to make more decisions. So a good decision is to make the right choice to go to high school. That would be a choice that most likely would be more efficient for you. Some kids flourish in in bigger schools, some don't. For myself, I don't. For Tylen, we don't. That's why we go to school in Allentown. In Allentown, we have, I think, is it 2 or 3? I think we have three high schools that are, particularly bigger than all the rest. We have Allen, William H. Allen. We have Darrell, and we have Central Catholic. So we have other smaller schools, like our own is Lincoln Leadership Academy Charter School. We have Roberto Clemente and others. So we want the kid, the child, or the young adult to choose where they can go and make sure it's the right choice, so they know where they will flourish, where they will get things accomplished. So if you're a student that can get their work done in a vast variety of people, then you can get it done at Allen. You can take off and you'll be at a bigger school and have a better chance. If you can, you can come to a school like our own at Lincoln, where there are teachers there to help you and with one-on-one things, So that's one of our goals, to get the child to know where they will flourish at. Because if we teach them and if we let them make a good decision for themselves in the beginning, then they'll be a domino effect where they do it for the rest of their lives.
So what we're going to do this is we're going to have a basketball camp for the students who play basketball mainly. And we're going to help them to get better at their game. We're going to help them to be ready for the next level, and we're going to mentor them to pick the right school and do better in school.
This is also including colleges, because we won't do this until they get into high school. We'll follow them, and if they ever need us to help with anything, we'll still be there. It's a mentoring thing too. So when they get into college, when they get into high school, there's going to be that it's going to come to them where they have to choose a college of their choice now. Now you can choose how far you want to go. We're trying to get we're on a path of getting connections with certain colleges. Like I spoke to the coach from Lehigh University, Scott Perry. I think it's Scott Perry. Scott Perry. I don't think he's the head coach, but I think he's on the staff. And I spoke to the coach from DeSales University for help. And we have a couple of people in the community that are willing to help us. We're trying to get sponsorships around the neighborhood, like Sneaker Villa. And that's one of the things we're starting off small first. We want to start with them. We're also trying to find a facility. We have a gym, and it's at our own home gym at the Eastside Youth Center for right now. And hopefully by the beginning of next summer, we'll have our own gym across the street from our school. These are materials that we most likely will need. We need basketballs. We need equipment where we can help the kids to do certain drills, like cones and stuff like that. We're also looking for T-shirts, pennies, so they can come and practice or whatever. And we need coaches. We have a couple people in mind. We just got a new basketball coaching staff at our school, and they're willing to help us. We have Ray Barbosa, who is our head coach now. We have We have Al Blunt, who used to be our coach. We have our athletic director, Dave George. So we have a couple people on our side right now to help us, mentor these kids, because we don't know everything. So we're trying to get help from people that do know the game, people that do know what it is like to play in college, and stuff like in that area. That's it. Okay. Do we have any questions?
The middle school, is this across the board, or is it just the kids in middle school at Lincoln?
No, not at Lincoln. No, we're looking at Trexter. We're looking everywhere, anywhere around the valley. Most likely all in that Bethlehem, Allentown area,
Okay.
where we can commute to get the kids, or if they can commute, make it easy to commute to get to the facility where we will be practicing.
Right.
I was just more interested in understanding the problem that you're solving. Is it that the young kids are not getting direction?
Yeah, they're not getting the right direction. Like, for instance, when I first came here last year, I came here from New York. People were telling me to go to all these certain schools. Like, they was like, go to Dare, or go to Allen, go to Central, whatever. But if I would have went there, I probably wouldn't have got the help that I needed. So people just
What helped?
like academically,
Academically.
I've got the help that I needed to be successful. So for instance, like these kids, they go to certain schools over the hype or over, just because it's a good basketball school. Well, that's not going to take you but so far. And the basketball can only take you but so far. You need an education, you need to know what you're doing. Because when you get to college, if you don't have the grades, if you don't know what you're doing, then you can't play basketball. So knowledge is the key. So if you go to Allen and you're not going to be able to focus because there's so many kids in the classroom, then there's no point, because you'll be playing basketball, but you won't be able to play basketball because you won't have the grades to, and you won't even get into a good college even if you are playing basketball. So that's what I mean by you have to direct them in the right path.
So what I'm also trying to see the solution for the problem is that children in the middle school need some guidance from the perspective of what would be the best learning environment for them. As you expressed, there are students who will flourish in a large high school. They like that environment, but there are others that would need that extra attention maybe, or would prefer to have, have a smaller or a more smaller environment. And you think that is important because they are not getting guidance in what they would like to have.
Yes.
And the solution that you are offering is based on athletics,
Yes.
how to bring them through basketball to this camp.
Yeah,
So
that's-
the camp is the solution to the problem somehow,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So,
the segue.
right, of course, you bring them to camp to work with basketball skills, but at the same time, one component of your camp will be some guidance about these. These are the opportunities that they are out there now that you are in 8th grade or 7th grade, 6th grade. You can take a look at, okay, this is, you have 2 high schools that are large, 3 that are large, and there is these opportunities that are like maybe Roberto Clemente, maybe the Leadership Academy, maybe the other charter schools that we have around, the Arts Academy or whatever. So you have, your solution is really to talk to these
Yeah, we want to reach
children
out and let them know there's other options.
that there are other options. But you have to think a little further, because within those options, which are, that's good that those are options, but again, if you live in a certain area of town and you choose to go to Europe, you can, because every kid goes to Allen. So you have to also enlighten children that it's not just like I pick this. There is some background that if you don't live within the geographical area delineated by Allentown, you school district, you cannot go to this or that. The other choices, which are the charter schools, also have, some limitations from the perspective of they are chosen by lottery if they are, more than what their capacity is. And so I think that it is important that you say there are choices and think about the choices, but at the same time, I think that it will be very educational for the parents and the students to know that there are also some of these limitations in relation to, I want to go to Roberto Clemente or to Leadership Academy, but I am on a waiting list because now, so those are the kinds of things that maybe it will be important to say, but at the same time, I think you are offering an opportunity to investigate or learn more about solving that problem of going to a large or a smaller environment and trying to really educate. Because what I see in the solution that you are giving to the problem is providing more information so parents and students or parents that have students in middle grades know about that there is this opportunity. So if I have a kid in 6th grade and I would like for him to go to a smaller environment, I have to start looking for that opportunity when he's in 6th grade and not in June of 8th grade, because chances are they won't be able to go to these smaller charter schools. There is a whole system behind that I can see that the solution could be through CAMP, informing parents about these opportunities and at the same time informing students about, yes, there are these opportunities. You have to know that there are, but there are some criteria, some limitations about that. Okay, so I can see that, you have to go a little deeper into what solution are you giving to choices.
How can we make it achievable?
Achievable, a goal that is achievable. So.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that, because it seems like in your mentoring, you would have to define what that means. Because on the one end, it could be, we're providing information, so we're 10% responsible to provide you information, you're 90% responsible for making that happen, and you could probably serve more students. Or there's this, I'm running intervention,
Yes.
and maybe it's a 50-50 thing where you're making a choice, but I'm a little more invested, a little more involved in this process. If you run into a problem, I'm going to help you solve it. I'm going to help you problem solve and think through it. So it's more than information. It's kind of this intervention. Or over here, this advocacy thing that's almost, you bear a greater degree of responsibility for whatever reason, and you say, look, whether you like it or not, I'm going to fight for you, and you kind of follow me as I fight for you, and then you place this student where he needs to be, but you bear the brunt of responsibility for a time until he or she's able to stand on their own. So it's interesting to define what, and I'm bringing this up off the top of my head, but how involved you want to be, and I think that will impact how many students you're able to serve at one time.
I don't know if we mentioned it, but we're trying to start off with at least 30 to 40 kids.
Okay?
Yeah, so, I mean, it is going to be tough at first, but I'm willing to take sacrifice and get things to happen. I have, connections and people that I know that are going to help me, and I'm willing to help these kids because I didn't have the same opportunity. And a lot of people, when you have an older brother or sister, and they say, oh, well, when I was your age or whatever, they do that, and some people don't have that. So, for that, I'm willing to go the extra mile for the kid, it's no problem.
Right, so you really want to be more involved than not just giving information.
Yeah.
You really want to help them make right choices and problem solve if they run into a problem. Yeah, that's nice.
Have you given any consideration on your partners? You mentioned Eastside Youth. Any consideration to the actual city parks program?
No, we haven't.
Because your idea might be an idea was, hey, we would love to promote your idea with our programs, and maybe between 10 and 11, you guys can come over here and we'll tell all the kids that are part of the park, that you're going to be here 10 and 11, and you teach them skills and then skills that I've done.
Yeah, that is interesting because that was my part on your solution, say running a camp. If you start a camp from ground zero, there's certainly a lot of implications, not only the supplies that you're talking about, but insurance needs and safety and location and giving us liability.